All right. So welcome to Eastchester Vault Week 4. We are here with the 2015 alumni, one of the best groups of kids I personally coached. Really enjoyed coaching this group, and they were a hell of a team too. So we want to just first start with introducing some of the players and alumni that came out. And we also have some possible people joining us a little bit later. Some people have birthdays and are out to dinner, but they're going to try and make it on a little bit later. So first off, I want to start with, I've been starting with the offensive line, so I want to keep going with that. So all the way out in Wyoming right now, he was a center and a one technique. He was number 73. He was Chris Gorman. Chris, thanks for joining us, especially out in Wyoming.
Yeah, how's it going?
All right. Following there, we called him a lot of different things, but he was our H-back. He was our strong outside linebacker. And he was number 9, John Blume, beast on the football field, as you're going to tell, and pretty good at lacrosse, too. John, thanks for coming.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right. From there as well, he was a junior and would eventually become a senior stud for us. But as a junior, he had a big influence on defense at cornerback. He got some plays at receiver, and he also played a little bit of quarterback as well, but at this point, he makes a couple of huge plays in this game. Number 11, Mark Cacciola. Mark, thanks for coming.
Everyone. Thanks for having me. It's an honor to even step foot on the field with these guys.
They were a good group. Appreciate that, Mark. He has already been to one of the vaults already, the 2013 one. He was now a senior stud receiver and strong outside, weak outside linebacker. Number 85, Andrew Schultz. I think your name precedes you at this point. Welcome, Andrew.
Hey, Tom. Thanks for having me.
All right. Star of this game in a lot of different ways. He was quarterback. He was safety. He was a whole lot of different things for this team, but he has a fantastic game. Number 2, John Arcidiacono. Welcome to the Eastchester Vault Week 4.
Thanks for having me, Tony.
Sure, bud. And, of course, last but not least, we can't forget the offensive genius that orchestrated this team. He was originally part of the 2003 team, so you can see when we do an Eastchester Vault, we'll go back to that. But right at this point, he was the offensive coordinator. Mike Santoianni, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Panio. Go Pandas. Go Pandas.
All right. We will probably have some other people joining. I just want to mention them now. We believe number 7, Jacob Risi, will be joining up a little bit later. Possibly number 77, Andrew Capiglione. He was a offensive and defensive lineman. Number 72, Antonio Rogliano, might join up a little bit late. And we may even get to see John Guido, who is the star fullback and linebacker in this game. So we could have some people joining late. And if they do, it'd be great to see them. If they don't, we're excited to get it going with these guys here. So as I mentioned, guys, I'm going to share my screen now. We're going to be talking about John Jay 2015, which was obviously a playoff game. What I would like to do is just at this point, play through the introduction. Just let it play through. If you guys hear something or if I forget something to mention, please let me know. This is just a little summary of what's going on before a rather big playoff game. At this point, we had already won a playoff game versus Tappan Zee, which I know I forget to fail to mention. So this is a quarterfinal playoff game and facing a very historic and talented John Jay Cross River team. Let's just kind of see what the situation is. So let's let this play through, and then we'll turn it over to you guys. If we have to add anything. Welcome to Eastchester Vault Week 4. In the previous week, we had gone over 35 years back to 1984. We're going to take a little bit of a shorter trip back to 2015, where the 7-0 Eastchester Eagles are playing in their second playoff game, quarterfinal playoff game versus the 4-3 John Jay Cross River Indians. It is a year where Eastchester kind of had a good thought that they would be pretty solid coming into the year, but they definitely saw how talented this team was. And sitting at 7-0, they had an opportunity to bring themselves to a semifinal playoff game facing off versus a very high-powered offense in John Jay Cross River. Eastchester at this point in time had, gone a few years without winning a playoff game. Week before, they had just won a big playoff game versus Tappan Zee. I think it was 48-0. And now they are setting themselves up as the 2 seed, facing off, I believe, against the 7 seed John Jay Cross River Indians. This game, unlike the first 3 weeks of Eastchester Vault, is going to be high scoring right from the beginning. And Eastchester, who generally gets off to slow starts in these big games, gets off to a very fast start in this game. And they are going to be led by the three-headed monster on offense, first starting with quarterback John Arcidiacono. He's just going to rush for over 250 yards in this game and throw for over 100. Just a very, very talented player. You'll see a lot of him in this game. Their receiver, senior Andrew Schultz, number 85, also Johnny Arch and Schultz were also captains this year. Does a fantastic job. There's not a lot of throws this game, but every time they throw the ball, Schultz seems to make a very, very big play. And their fullback / running back, John Guido, who rushed for over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns, who was also a captain in this game. Obviously, their offensive line was very talented, paving the way for a rushing over 400 yards of offense. And it was ultimately just a team that was a lot of fun to watch. When you watch them, running the ball, throwing the ball, there's a lot of explosive plays. It's just a very talented and fun team that came together for this. Defensively, there was a lot of big tacklers. Obviously, Antonio Rogliano, a junior, had a big game as a defensive end. He's number 72. Matt Roach, also a junior, had 8 tackles, and then a whole bunch of players under that had a lot of tackles contributing. There were a lot of passes that were broken up. There's something like 7 pass deflections in this game, pass defenses, and an interception by the Eastchester secondary, as John Jay will have to throw the ball a bunch after they fall down early. But, every drive there seems to be a big play. Every drive there seems to be something exciting going on. It's just a fun game to watch. In a big, big game, a big playoff game, that Eastchester is going to come out victorious. So this isn't particularly one of those games that's, close. I think there's a point in the third quarter where John Jay Cross River comes roaring back, and then the Eastchester defense is going to set themselves up with a huge interception that changes the game a little bit and puts the game in Eastchester's hands. So it's a fun game by a very talented and a very fun group. Great group of kids, and I hope you really enjoy Eastchester Vault Week 4 as Eastchester plays a home playoff game versus the John Jay Cross River Indians. It's a good, exciting game, and I hope you all enjoy. Without further ado, we would like to present Eastchester Vault Week 4, Eastchester versus John Jay, for the quarterfinal playoff matchup.
Okay.
Anna, you do that all in one take?
Yeah, all in one take.
That's
on
impressive.
my first try, too.
That's impressive.
Yeah. What I missed, guys, if you guys want to add something, or if there's something kind of going into this game or just this season that you want to mention, please, now's the time to do it.
I mean, I would say, Tony, you pretty much hit it on the head. I mean, the week before we had kind of wiped Tappan Zee off the map with the 48-0 game against them. But, no, it was a lot of excitement around this game. In terms of us having another playoff game at home too, something that we hadn't done past the second round in probably a while. So it was definitely a good crowd there. So it was definitely something that I think everyone was pretty amped up for.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else, boys? Well, I have a question for the seniors and for my junior Mark Cacciola that was here. I'm curious, did you guys realize you're going to be this good? We could, talk just frankly now, because you guys were probably the best team we've coached for a while, at least 10 to 12 years. So did you guys realize you guys had this type of talent? Do you guys surprise yourself a little bit, or was this kind of the expectation coming into the year?
I don't know. I mean, I think our during the White Plains scrimmage in the beginning of the year, kind of saw how good we can be. But we never I don't think anyone was expecting that, to be honest.
Right.
No, I think like Johnny said, I don't really think we were expected that. We didn't really look down the line. We just kind of took it game by game. We were just playing ball at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we expected to be good, but never that good. Because even modified in JV, we didn't lose, but we never on varsity. You don't expect to go undefeated to this point at all.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because I remember coaching you guys on JV being undefeated, and I know you guys are very good on modified, but varsity is a whole different level. And I know Coach Santoianni would be the first to say that as well. It's a different level between JV and modified, and you guys really took it to the next level and got to varsity. You guys were a better varsity team than you ever were on JV and modified too. And, you guys are playing your best football coming into this game. It was pretty clear. And you guys did a really good job, obviously, the whole year. And it really comes through in this particular game. So we're really excited to show it. Anything else, boys?
Yeah, Tony, I would say with that too, I think Johnny mentioned the White Plains scrimmage, which we faced Yorktown and Westlake. But I think going against New Rochelle at Eurocamp was definitely a pretty good indicator, because we had gone up against those guys for 4 years now, and they had been very competitive in AA. Yeah. And some of those guys had some pretty high-level talent that were going to go play in college. But I think our success in that scrimmage, or how we held our own against them,
right,
I think it was a pretty good indication of how well we were going to do that year. Because if we could compete with them, I didn't think we would have any problem really with any of the teams that we were going to be playing in the regular season. The level of athleticism that they had compared to some of the other teams.
Oh shit, I'm in.
You're in, Jacob.
That's an entrance right there. That is an entrance.
Who's in here?
Hold on.
Santa, Coach Santa, what's up?
What's up, Jacob?
What's up, Tony?
Hey, what's up?
Jacob with the big entrance. Antonio just entered too. We kind of did a little introduction.
Holy shit, John. All right, I'm sorry.
How's it going, Antonio?
Hey, it's going well. How about you guys?
Good. Glad you can make it in. We kind of introduced you guys. Jacob Risi, number 7. He was a cornerback and receiver. Antonio Rogliano, he was 72. He was a defensive end and I think the right tackle, and he had a really good game for us. So just kind of going through everything, I believe if you can, because we're about to start the game, just keep yourself muted if possible. If you have something to say, obviously just unmute yourself, and then that's really it. Just kind of talk about the game and go from there. I know Coach Santoianni, I wanted to ask you a question before the game started. I know I'm kind of stalling a little bit here. But ultimately, what point in the season did you start to realize, we got a pretty good team? Because you were always the more realistic coach than I was, because I thought every team we were ever going to have was going to be excellent. But what point did you realize this team's going to be pretty damn good?
Well, Joe LaRocca used to make fun of me, I think, on a consistent basis, that every week I'd be like, are we actually good?
Yeah.
But I have to say probably the Brewster game.
Yeah.
That's when I really thought you guys were very, very good. That was a game that in the past we lose, hands down. And that was a game that, we get a penalty called back or something like that. We just fall apart. And
invert whistle.
Yep. And that's just it. And I got to admit, that was the game Schultz, I actually yelled at Tony after the game, because I was like, how could you not tell me Schultz is open so much? And then I think after that we threw you the ball like a bunch of times.
Yeah, he was in the
crazy.
slot. We played him more on the slot, right, as opposed to the outside?
Yeah, that was the first game I played Schultz in the slot more. And
right.
Oof.
That was my worst game.
I know it was your worst game. I know it was your worst game. But it was the game I actually just saw, just nobody covered you. And I was like, oh, okay. If no one's going to cover you, that's fine with me,
That's funny you say that. I remember our conversation late in the fourth quarter of that game. We didn't have to throw the ball. We were up. But you started to realize, wait, like when Schultz is in the slot, there's a linebacker covering him now. And versus Panis, we end up playing Panis the next week. We end up throwing it to Schultz up the seam a bunch of times. They couldn't stop him. So, it was a good thing we figured that out, because he started going off after that. I forget. You maybe had like 10 touchdowns in like 6 games or 5 games. So
I remember that kind of sent me to college, Santa, so thanks.
Yeah.
You're welcome. No worry. No, but yeah. I think, I'm going to sound biased here. No offense, skinny dudes, but when I saw how good our offensive line was playing, that's when I knew we could be very, very good, because of the talent we had behind them. And I include you, Blume, in the non-skinny guys, because, that H-back position was basically created for you, man. So you knocked it out of the park, man. So
that's all I wanted to do.
I know. That's why I loved you. So, but that's when I think I noticed it, Tony, when that happened. And you guys don't realize how big of a game this John Jay game was.
Oof.
It was huge. It was a big game. I could speak for probably Coach Fred on this one and Coach Panio. This was the, Tappan Z game was Tappan Z game. No disrespect to Tappan Z at all, but this was by far the game that, we don't win usually, ever, And I was amped up because I just wanted to score, 100,000 points. And actually at halftime, I was actually mad, which is funny. We'll talk about that at halftime. I was actually cursing at Panio at halftime because we had like 1 3 and out or something like that. But this was the game. This is a huge game for our program, huge game for you guys. I said it at halftime. I remember that speech. You guys were the best team in that section. Any given day, circumstances, whatever. I think you guys, in my mind, you guys were the section champs that year because you guys could have handled Rye, any of those teams, so you could play, Panio.
Thanks, Coach Santa. I would say at this point, we're going to let it go at this point, and there's going to be a lot of offense getting on early, so let's have it play through. When there's a not so big play, we'll just play it through on mute, but we obviously have a big play coming, and I think you guys will equally love Coach Santa in the booth in this game because and Coach
don't do it.
And Coach
Mike. Coach Mike's in the booth with me.
He's also pretty good.
Oh yeah. Anyone else choppy, or am I just choppy?
Oh, hold on. Let me do something here, guys. Let me. I'm sorry because I reshared it. Let me just reshare it here. Sorry, guys.
Freaking Panio, man. This is what I used to deal with in the coach's room. Pooch knows. Shout out to Pooch. How come Pooch isn't on here? I need somebody to make fun of the whole time.
I think Pooch is busy. All right, so let's see this.
What is he doing?
All right, let's just test this out. Does it sound okay and look okay now? It should be fine. Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. All right, big play coming. Let's take a look.
Yeah. I curse out Panio, by the way, right after this, guys. Guys, every single week of this season, Panio ragged on me because we never threw the ball the first play of the game ever. And we literally, I was like, I cursed him out right after this. I said, that's right. Oh, Jacob, here we go, man. Coach Fred loves this play.
We'll get to that play in a second. Johnny and Schultz, we just knew we were going to try and take a shot down the field. Do you remember anything about this play, just opening up the game with the big pass play? How did this feel? Or you guys have any nerves or anything, or what was going on?
I would definitely say first play pass is a little nervous, but they definitely weren't expecting it, to be honest. There was no one tapping it.
Wasn't it just power pass?
It was power pass. Yeah. I remember sitting in Coach Santa's living room, actually, when we were watching film, as a coaching staff. We were watching together. We noticed that their safety to tight end, and to Blume flies up, which he does here, and they play man-to-man. So we're like, okay, well, we think Schultz could just beat this guy in a post. Let's try it on the first play, and that's kind of what happens. The safety flies up into the box here, and it doesn't get easier for you two.
Yeah, no. I love the Santa call on this. You actually hear it's the best.
Let's hear it one more time.
What do I say?
Hey, Panio. It's your first fucking play touchdown.
That great?
Yeah, it's great.
All right. So we'll come right to a big one here. Jacob, I'm not sure if you're still with us. I know you're at a birthday party or whatever. So
I'm in, Tone.
All right. Well, let's watch this one, and then I want to talk to you.
Yeah!
We waited all year to call this little fake field goal extra point thing. And were you surprised when Coach Fred, I think he called the number 2?
Oh, I was extremely shocked because I've been waiting for it all season.
We were.
So Fred.
They just kind of sneak on in there. Don't even need a good block. Just had a little hole there. And to get up 8-0 early in this game definitely took the pressure off a little bit. But we're going right back to a big play here, guys. So let's watch this one.
Good hustle, Marky.
Yeah, really good.
Slow,
man.
That's the slowest run.
I wish someone would have helped you up after.
I thought I had him. I really did. And he just kind of fell in. And I thought if I could get him down, you know, our defense was pretty good. I thought maybe we could get a stop, but he just fell in the end zone.
Yeah, it wasn't for a lack of hustle. That one definitely hurt, though, because we just had a big play and they seemed to answer right back. And John Jay's a team who's known for their offense, so, like, we just let up a special teams touchdown to them. It really, really hurt. But good thing is our offense –
Tone, we tried to kick it away.
Yeah.
Didn't we try and kick it away from one of the kids?
Yeah.
I think 11.
Yeah. We
were
were
the
deep guy. Which we do a really good job of, but I guess we had too big of a hole there. And, yeah, this kid just kind of ran through and made it 8-7. So we get the big play. They get a big play right back. And I remember as a coach thinking, like, oh, boy, this game's going to be, 60-55. And because we already have 2 touchdowns before 11 minutes, 30 seconds. And they get the extra point back. But I know you guys pretty well. This probably didn't waive your confidence too much. We're going to get behind our offensive line. Just got to shout them all out. Paul Michaels, Nunzio Crowley, Chris Gorman, Andrew Capriglione, Antonio Rogliano, and, of course, both Blume brothers, whether it's a tight end or H-back, really did a fantastic job. Starting out in double. Johnny with a 2-yard carry. Second down coming. And John Guido starts going. It's a first down. All right. I think a big one's coming here. Let's take a look. I want to just say this now from the beginning. How would you describe – you guys played with him. I know he's not here right now, so he can't speak for himself. How would you guys describe John Guido as a fullback, running back player? Because I know I have my thoughts on him, but I want to hear from you guys.
He wasn't that big, but he could, like, deliver a hit pretty hard. He was like a downhill runner.
Yep.
Yeah, John was the tough running back. You needed those couple yards. He got it for you every time.
I think he played the perfect position.
Yeah. I agree.
He definitely used
100%. I think he filled that position perfectly.
He was never afraid of contact, which was always good.
It really was.
Yeah.
You just think about John, too. I know Arch has the flashy moves. Guido makes people miss a little bit. He is.
That first cut, he broke his ankles.
Yeah, he did. All right, so we get a big play right back. And it's going to be a lot of John Guido and a lot of Johnny Arch, obviously. And Mike Sess, who is little unsung hero, always came in and gave us tough yards. I think any other year he's a starting running back, getting 20 net carries a game. But this year he's just, behind a very good group of players. Arch on the carry.
I think with John, he was. Oh.
You're good, Schultz.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say John wasn't the imposing fullback, but he always was good enough to like make the cuts and get the extra yardage. I don't think I ever saw him fall backwards.
Right.
He always fell forwards when he was running.
All right, so we're down with inside the 1. This is where our offensive line and our team was as good as we've ever been. Whenever we got inside the 5, like, we always scored. Always. And it's not going to take long here. Let's see touchdown number 2. That's Coach Santa's play. Jack Pro right, Jack right X over, just run power right at him, and got the push we needed and get a nice touchdown there to make it 14-7. And running behind that right side of Capriglione and Antonio and Gorman.
Give kicker some airtime here.
Yes, of course, junior Aiden Clemente.
Good job, kicker. Good job, kicker. Good job.
All right, so I think it's fair to tell them now, Coach Santa, by this point, when we've let up a kick return touchdown, we are extremely nervous on the headset every time the ball's kicked off. Because we just –
Me, never nervous when it's kickoff.
He's lying to you guys. It's like we probably say don't do this. He kicked it to the same guy. It's like a repeat. But this time we have our guys there to make the play, and our defense can get on the field. Senior Brendan Schaefer, in on the tackle there, Mark Cacciola, which is really nice. And we get the defense going. You want to talk about unsung heroes on this team. Nunzio Crowley never is flashy, but he was feisty, man, and he's going to get the first tackle here. He's the defensive end to the bottom of the screen. There he comes through. All-state wrestler, I think, guys, right? My memory serves me correctly.
All-American.
Yeah, he was something. He used his wrestling skills in football really well. At this time, John Blume comes off the edge here. Looked like we had a blitz. Yeah, it's John Blume coming through. Roach as well, in on the tackle, forcing him on a 3rd and long. Rollout pass, and I think Schultz gets a piece of that one. I've never seen – I mean, I've watched a lot of high school football games. There must be like 8 pass deflections in this game. And that's the first one there to force a 3-and-out. Really clutch after the kick return touchdown to force their offense to a 3-and-out. And we give it back to our offense. All right, Johnny Hutch off the outside. Oh, my goodness. What a move. So, Johnny, this was like your specialty move. This little – I don't even know what to call it. Just a little juke.
Yeah.
You still do that in lacrosse? Can you still do that in lacrosse?
I don't know. Might be a little slower now.
I don't know, man. Really good move there. Get the first down. Good blocks for the O-line, and Guido out there leading as well. Same play. Gets 5 yards. Great run again by Johnny. Coach Santa, we talked about this a lot sometimes. I remember Sleepy Hollow. Sometimes we'd call, run plays to the left, and, Johnny would end up to the right and we'd be like, oh, no. And then we'd go, yes, good play, sort of thing. Your vision, John, was very good. And I think, behind the offensive line you had, it really helped out. But this kick outside here, really special.
Yeah, that line that year was crazy. Helped us out so much. We were able to do that type of stuff instead of getting stopped in the backfield or something.
Yeah, it was a good mixture of players in every position, especially on offense. All right, moving the ball pretty well here. This time Guido to the outside. Great block by Capriglione. Guido's to the edge. So at this point, Antonio, Gorman, I mean, do you guys have a good sense? Blume, do you guys have a good sense that you guys can kind of outmuscle these guys, or are you still kind of feeling them out at this point?
They were never really like pushing us back. We were always going forward, so we knew every play was going to be at least 2 to 3 yards.
Right.
They were never in the backfield.
I remember every time we like double team them, they would just do that stupid get on a knee and try to take one of us down, and then they would just run up the field. It was either one or the other.
Okay.
I think that first scoring play gave us a lot of confidence too. Like even the line, like we knew right then that we had these guys.
Yeah, it's you guys definitely playing with some confidence, and I'm fairly certain we got one coming here. So let's take a look.
Wrong, Panio. Wrong.
John Arcidiacono on the key.
You guys could hear Coach Santoianni already calling the play by the time he's down. We're inside the one.
What did I say?
You just went Jack right, Richie Powell right before Johnny Arch was even down. Here comes the touchdown.
No brainer, Panio.
All right, so John Guido adds the second touchdown.
Guido's like that fantasy guy that comes in at like in the NFL. It comes in on like the 1 yard line and takes all the touchdowns away from everybody.
Yo, Johnny Arch,
he had a lot of touchdowns this year.
You don't got any touchdowns yet besides the throw. You all right with Shannon a little?
Nah, Johnny doesn't care. He didn't care. He was like, whatever, bro. That's exactly what he used to do. Whatever, I don't care.
All right, so 22-7 lead. Boys are off to a good start, but this first quarter is still only halfway through. And I think Pete DeLillis in on a big tackle there. We're holding our breaths on those kickoffs now. I'm sure you guys are too. All right, but John Jay,
that was the same kid.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
This time they run a little read, get outside. Johnny with the tackle.
What was the quarterback's name? Hunter?
That sounds right. There's been a lot of John Jay quarterbacks, but that does sound correct.
I don't know. I just remember him being like a highly touted, like one of the
Black
guys
dude
coming in that were like up for Super 11, and like I guess he was supposed to be really good at the time.
See, I don't remember that, but that is certainly possible. He makes some plays this game, the quarterback. You know, but I think for the most part, we do a really good job. I think Antonio's in on his first tackle there. He'll have a lot more in this game, boys. Time another handoff. They're starting to get the ball moving a little. That time, I think it was Ryan Blume in on the tackle. The brother of John. Now they're starting to sneak through a little bit. Antonio back to make the tackle. They're starting to get going.
Good hustle.
I got a little taste of my own medicine there.
Yeah, they got a little shimmy.
Yeah.
Athletic John Jay. Antonio with a big-time play. So this is a play we ran a lot.
It's a good freaking play.
And I don't think you could draw as better Antonio in terms of just playing both and then just taking the quarterback down. Legitimate play.
Yeah. Coach Santa taught me that. The feather, good old feather.
That's right.
Used to hate that shit when people used to do that to us in practice. That was a great job, Antonio.
I remember I did to Johnny like 600 times, and he finally got it.
Yeah,
it's something that you see. We run a lot in practice, so you have a lot of practice with it, and you looked real good there. This time he's rolling out, throws it. Schultz, you remember this one? Rare drop for you.
Yeah, I think I was just kind of scared seeing I got
shocked.
Yeah, I I was beat.
Shocked he threw it.
I was easily beat on that play, and I was having flashbacks to Brewster when Kate caught the ball over my head.
Oh my God, forgot about that. All right,
I think Coach.
Go ahead.
Coach Fred was not a happy camper that time.
Now you got the wrath of Freddie a little. It's okay. Everyone gets it at some point. All right. So third down coming here. I think a pretty big play is coming. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. So this team ran the play tray or counter very, very well. And this is one of the times they run it in this first half. They catch us in a ram. And the quarterback sneaks through. A really good tackle by Johnny to save a touchdown. But ultimately, it's not going to stop it from happening. Great play by Ryan Blume. All right, so John Jay with a good answer drive and makes it 22-14. Now, obviously, we're moving the ball really well on offense, but they have a kick return touchdown. They scored a defensive touchdown. At any point, did you guys feel like this was going to be a little bit of a closer game than I guess it would be? Because I remember as a coach right now, I kind of felt like this is going to be a really close game. But I'm not sure if you guys felt that way.
I mean, at the time, yeah. I mean, no, I don't think anyone was expecting to start shutting them down on offense every single possession. So,
right.
Tony, I think John's waiting in the Zoom.
Oh, let me get him in. All right, I got participants. Oh, let's get him in. Okay. John Guido, you here, bud? Let's see. He's definitely here.
What's up, guys?
There he is.
What's up, Guido?
How you doing?
We just
Good
went
to
on a
see
compliment fest on you. You missed it. You had a big run, and we were complimenting your running style.
Oh, wow.
The good thing is, John, we'll come back to you because you have a bunch of big runs soon. But welcome. We're just you missed a little bit in the first quarter, but we're still going here. And if you have anything to say, just unmute your mic and let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So John Jay scored 22-14. We got it going here with Johnny up the middle. Nice 5-yard run. Try it again. A little outside. Johnny Bacon. Oh, my goodness. Let's unmute this one and let it play. Big run by Johnny there. John Guido with a pretty big block on the edge, along with John Blume and Paul Michaels. But when you started to cut back, John, I guess asking you guys as a team, when you started to cut back and stuff, like, did you feel like you were going to make a lot of people miss, or did you feel like you're about to get crushed? Because I felt like if I ever did that, I'd be in a hospital somewhere. You seem to get away with it.
I've gotten crushed on a cutback. But I don't know. It was just so open. You know, it like felt like I was in open space. So
right.
I was just able to make.
Well, your line there, Caps, and
like if I made that in like tight to the line or something, I would have got crushed coming back. I did in this game actually get hit pretty hard on one of them.
Yeah, we'll see that coming up. It's gonna happen. All right, at this point, both John Arch and John Guido have rushed for over 150 yards collectively. There, they get a pretty good stop. John Guido's first run, go figure, since he got here. It was a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, John, you might as well just go now. We'll compliment you on your way out.
All right, this is a nerve-wracking play, but a good play when it all said.
Is this Johnny's lucky play? Is this Johnny's lucky play here?
Let's take a look. Okay. Schultz, what'd you see from your perspective as this was coming in? Did you think this was intercepted? Because I thought it was going to be intercepted.
Honestly, Johnny had thrown a ball like that I think it was against Panis, and I had gone up and got it, and I thought that was pretty lucky on that part. But on this one, I knew that he had just got it over the first defender. It would have been fine. I thought it was a lot better throw than the one against Panis, which he had done. But, I mean, he had enough time to step up in the pocket, so he got it there. And Johnny had a good arm from the beginning of the year, so we learned that pretty early. So, honestly, I wasn't really worried. Just as it had got over the first defender, I was like, all right, fine.
I remember Johnny walking to me and going, I know more air. Before I even could say anything.
I honestly did not see him.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
Yeah, it was it could have been bad. But you know what? I think you got just enough height where he had to make a really good interception, or this is what was going to happen. And it tipped up and went to Schultz there. And that was the last play of the first quarter. Did you guys realize we put up almost 30 points in the first quarter? It was almost surreal in a playoff game of all things.
First quarter was very long.
Yeah, certainly. All right, we got the 20.
I know a bunch of guys were pretty shocked too.
Yeah.
We're pretty tired because I think Nunzio took the SAT, and so did Chris that morning.
Wow. Before a playoff.
Yeah, I took the ACT before this one.
Yeah, ACT. Because me and John were supposed to take it,
that.
and we got out of it.
That's I can't imagine doing that, playing a playoff game. That's crazy. You guys are legends for doing that. All right, so Aiden Clemente gets the extra point again. We kick another low line drive. This time we're there. I think it's Ryan Blume. Now, John, I want you to speak on your brother a little bit because obviously he's a junior this year, but he goes on his senior season. Actually, I think leads all-time Eastchester football in tackles in a season. Talk about this playing with your brother a little bit.
Say it again?
So just talk about playing with your brother, like just how cool that is sort of thing, and then just talk about like playing kind of the same position. I'm sure it's a special thing.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a lot of fun. I mean, we were used to it because we always played together growing up. Right. Football, lacrosse, any sport, we're usually together. But this was the first season where we played the same position, so it was a lot of fun to play, similar positions, to go home, to talk about it, to go at each other at practice because we were usually on opposite teams because we were playing the same position. Right. So it was really fun to just go at it all year long and play the same position with my brother.
Yeah, I would definitely say, you pushing him made him a lot better too because his senior season was, especially even at tight end, but really at linebacker, he was just a beast. He made so many tackles. I know Mark Cacciola knows that too. Did really a fantastic job. Antonio's in on a tackle there with John Guido. Time pressure by Guido forces an errant pass with Jacob Risi in coverage. Guido loved timing his blitzes. We used to get on him a little bit, but I think this one worked out pretty good. I think you timed the blitz perfectly here because you rushed through unevaded. Jacob is always Jacob in perfect position. You never weren't. Very reliable. Ooh. They got Guido and Roach there a little bit. Jumped off sides. All right, so 3rd and 5 coming. Roach in on the tackle there. Big 3rd down stop. All right, as we're getting the ball back, it seems like we should be in good shape to score here because that's what we've been doing all game. But we finally start from the first series in not so good field position. And that's the first incompletion of the game.
Where's Johnny?
No.
It's okay, Johnny. I forgive you. Should have threw to Jacob. What the hell, man?
Jacob ends up having some big games for us at wide receiver. I remember Lords especially, but we don't throw the ball too much this game, so Jacob doesn't get as much love. But that's the only incompletion Johnny throws, so whatever. At this time, we run a little quarterback power. A nice 5-yard gain. Seemed like we had a good amount of success running to the right, Coach Santa. You know, behind Antonio and Caps, Gorman. Then we had Nunzio pulling, which was always good too. I think this is one of the plays he probably talked trash, Santa, and I was on his ass about doing it.
Yeah, I told you to shut up, Panio, right after that.
Good stalk block by Schultz and delivering a hit.
Yep.
Johnny Arch. Looks like a little something. Yeah. Not running double here. Pressure this time. Oof. Coach Santa, at this point in time in the game, I know we'll talk a little bit more. Do you just have confidence as a play caller, like everything you call is going to work sort of thing? I know that's a feeling you feel too often sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much at this point. I mean, I kind of had a good game plan, I think, of what they were going to do on defense. So I kind of felt, you know, as soon as they gave us a 5 front, you know, Caps was probably going 5. But as soon as they gave us the 5 front, I mean, for me, that's perfect. Like you know, it was easy blocking, all double teams, right? They were just slanting down. We went over that like right after the first series when I saw it, just like block them down and kick out. It was pretty easy pickings right here, you know.
Now, an underrated thing about this drive is we haven't really gashed him for the big plays like we were earlier, but Mike Santoianni just had a couple of good runs. We're moving the ball, wasting a little bit of clock here. A penalty brings us back a little bit. But now we're going to get Johnny on the edge, and we'll go back to this one and let the sound go because this is a pretty nice run coming up here.
John Guido on the carry.
This is one of my made up formations that we named like the day before, right, Johnny? Like it's like something stupid we called it. Tiger, lion, something like that.
Always coming up with something right before.
Oh yeah. Well, I was literally teaching the day before, like, all right, everyone read.
I used to go so crazy. I'd be like, hey, Panio, I got this new kind of cool plan. I'm like, dude, it's Friday. The game plan's in. It's like, no, we got to run this. I'm like, all right.
Yep.
But it usually worked. This time, Johnny on the edge. You know, I want to shout out Pete DeLillis here because I think Pete DeLillis is another kid that, you know, just got caught behind, you know, some really good players on our team. But on other teams, he would have been a good player. But he did his job well. Unselfish. We're not going to talk about Mark Cacciola's missed block there because he's going to make a huge play in this game later on.
I could have cut that up. That's not on
him. Johnny Arch again. Yep. I think Johnny Arch is going to get his first rushing touchdown coming up. Let's take a look.
We score on this one. You would think after the 3rd time running the same exact play, they would have figured out that we were running it.
All right, so I think it's good that we give a little insight to some of our boys here, Coach Santa. I was very cautious with running players multiple times in a row. So if you haven't noticed, Johnny Arch just ran quarterback jet right and then quarterback jet left. And this is probably the point, Coach Santa, where I'm probably telling you, Johnny's probably a little tired, and this is where you probably tell me to go F myself. He's getting the ball again. Does that sound about right?
Yep, Fred would tell you the same thing too, so it's fine.
So, Johnny, just because you got the ball twice in a row here and you get it a 3rd time, do you remember being any bit more tired in this game, or were you just in really good shape? This was no problem for you.
No, I was definitely a little gassed. towards the end of the half, yeah.
You're fine, Johnny.
Really good blocks by everyone. John Blume, Pete DeLillis, Antonio kind of works himself out there too, and John Guido leads the way. Not that you go untouched, but you just kind of read your blocks really well, and that was this team. As good as the runs we had, the line, and as Coach Santa said, between the H-backs, the wings, the tight ends, everyone contributed. That made it 35-14, and Aiden Clemente was very consistent this game. Bangs another extra point, and we're only
job kicker
quarter. A lot of offense. But I tell you, our kickoff game was just, I don't know, nerve-wracking.
Just leave kicker alone. He's doing fine.
Chris Vettorino, another senior, I believe, at this point. Just a great kid, hard-nosed. Did a great job on special teams with the big tackles. You had a lot of those guys between Schaefer, Vettorino, Pizza Lillis. These guys had quote-unquote small roles, but, always seemed to make plays in the special teams and found their ways into games, which is obviously awesome and a big reason why, we had a very successful season. Going up the middle there, Guido and Arch with the tackle. That play was giving us a little trouble. That guard and tackle pulling. Slant over the middle, Ryan Blume and Johnny Arch. This time we do a really good job. I think we have two linebackers blitzing. They come through clean and get a big stop, Roach and Guido. Big tackle. This is really great pursuit by our our defensive line. Roach and Ryan Blume end up making the tackle. And forces the third down here. And I think we're going to get one of those pass deflections again as he just sails everything. Yeah, he sails this one. So, Guido, do you remember anything about this play? Coming off the corner, coming off the edge here, you end up pushing pressure on the quarterback. Then you do one of your slide tackles almost.
Yeah, no. Probably looking back on it, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, you definitely should have got flagged.
Yeah, that was – I mean, was that rule in play back then? No, I'm kidding.
No, we were allowed to play football back then, I think, so we're good.
Yeah, definitely not the best hit that I've ever had, but I guess in the heat of the moment, I was just – I don't know. I was going full speed. I don't know.
Got the job done. And, of course, Jacob Risi right there in coverage as per usual. Sailed it over anyone's head. So this is a fourth down. They throw it. Jacob, I'll talk to you here. It probably ends up being a good dropped interception. I know it was one of those where it was tipped, but do you remember anything about this play? I'm not sure if Jacob's still here. Jacob, you still here, bud? Oh, we might have lost Jacob. But this is probably one of those where if it's intercepted, he could maybe run it back a long way. But with it being fourth down, ended up being a pretty good thing.
I remember because we were talking to him right there, and he was so mad.
Yeah.
He dropped it, and I was like, it's fourth down. Like, it's not a big deal. And he just kept on saying how mad he was and all that.
Yeah, you could see it. He's pissed. All right, so we get the ball here. Good field position. Scored every time we had the ball so far, and we have probably about 3 minutes to score. So we have a nice drive that we put together here. So let's take a look. Oh my goodness. Let's go back. John, Guido, I want to talk to you quick after this one because we talked about your style of running, but I want to ask you in a second. So let's just watch this one again. All right. How would you describe yourself as a running back? Because we were all kind of saying some things, but if you had to describe yourself as a running back, what would you say, Guido?
Probably like, I don't know, probably junior year more, I was just like, get 4 yards, let's get the ball moving upfield. But then senior year offensive line was sick, so, kind of those holes opened up. So I was like, all right, I got to run a little bit more and kind of make some plays in open field, which is something I never really was able to do, but it kind of just came senior year, I guess, because I was older. But yeah, no, like against, not saying that John Jay wasn't a good team. They had a very, very good offense, very hard to stop. I just think we dominated them on the offensive line. So I kind of look how big that hole is. That like I could walk through that hole and still get 10 yards. So
yeah, Blume with the big block there. Just asking my running backs, because obviously we're hoping that some of the younger kids are watching it that are still playing. Do you remember what this drill was in running backs that we used to run all the time? We used to attack a cone and then do something. Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, it was like the zigzag drill, right?
Yeah, it's like that zigzag, or we call it the dip drill. So for all you young running backs, watch it in action there, because that's exactly how it's done. And obviously, just getting us a really big play there.
I wish I was faster. I should have been gone after that second cut.
Antonio, can you just go back to the end of that play?
Yeah, sure. Let's see.
Yeah, hold on. Okay, pause it for me.
Yeah.
So one thing I loved about you guys, and I probably said this in film 100 times, but 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 linemen are like 25 yards down the field blocking. And that was just, never had to say it, never had to preach it. In years past I have, and in the future I did, but not having to say something as simple as, block till the whistle and go down the field, like a lot of Johnny's cutbacks and, probably speaking for them, but they're probably more willing to cut back knowing that there are people there to block for them, just in case, and that's a huge deal. That's a good thing for a team to have.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. It's not even something I really even noticed, but yeah, we have 8 guys all down the field trying to help out our running backs getting going, and that is important, in a good offense. You want everyone blocking to the whistle and not letting plays go. So that's a really good point, Coach.
Hey, Tone, can you just let me in through the Zoom? My class is over, so I can go on my laptop.
Okay. I'll be keeping an eye out. Very classic Cesarini right there. Just consistent, 6 to 8 yards. Hard nosed, never complained type of player. Cesarini, again, we probably have a little less than, 2 minutes here. Time becoming just a little bit of an issue. Obviously, it'd be nice to score before halftime. We have a pretty good lead, but we know how good John Jay's offense is. And I'm going to try and wait for Schultz to get back here. Let's see.
I was play the whole year.
He's coming back in. Okay. Schultz, let me know if you're here, because we got a big play for you coming, and I obviously want you a part of it.
Hear me, Tom?
Yep, I got you.
This play, I waited all year, and then the Jacob right before halftime play too.
Oh, yeah. All right. So
I must have missed the play right before halftime.
No, you're good.
You missed the dropped interception, man.
All right, so we got big play coming, so let's take a look.
Call the play?
Oh my God. Because I was literally going to do it. I told her, and he comes out yeah.
So, Johnny, Jacob,
I was taking like 2 pictures.
Thank you. So let's go back one more time. I'll just play it again. Schultz, I want your opinion here. You know what I'm going to ask, so let me just play it again so we see. Big throw, big catch. Hey, Mr. Schultz, were you in, you think?
Yeah.
Touchdown. Yes, you were.
100%.
100%.
Put it perfectly in there. 1 foot.
1 foot. That's the rule in Panio. No need to slow it down any more than you have. Let's move on. That's a touchdown.
Johnny dropped it right in there.
Yep.
All right.
I see it down. Perfect. I see the green in between the white.
Well, I'll go with you guys that had a much better view than me. It was obviously called a touchdown, but it was a close one. It was a close call, and really great throw by Johnny. This was a smash special. We had a lot of success running it this year, and this was just another good goal line play that we had. And for Johnny to make this throw on the hash mark here is obviously not very easy. And he delivered a great pass. Guido, Blume, all with good blocks out there. And Schultz with a big-time touchdown. So now, Johnny, I think you're 3 for 4 throwing, 3 throws all to Schultz, and 3 touchdowns. So that's pretty awesome, obviously. We have now a 42-14 lead about to go into halftime. Did you guys feel like this game was over at this point? Just want to hear from you guys because I know what I was kind of thinking at this point, and maybe it would have been a little differently than you guys.
I don't know. Definitely not over. But I mean, going into half with that score, felt really good. Like we were in control. There was absolutely no way they were coming back.
Yeah, I don't think we ever thought it was over. We just kept going. Like Johnny said, we felt real good going into the half, and we had momentum, so we just kept going with it.
I remember being tired.
There's a lot of moving the ball in offense, which is a good problem to have, as John Jay kind of just runs out the clock here. I think Nunzio in on the tackle again. And that's the halftime. So
Why was I mad again?
What? Huh?
Why was I mad again? We scored on every possession.
You're not mad yet. You will be very mad soon. And don't worry, we have it all on film, so we're going to have a discussion.
I was mad at the end of the game. Yes.
Oh, yes.
I was really pissed at the end of the
Tony, what was the final score? I missed that in the beginning.
It ended up being 51-27, so they ended up outscoring us in the second half, but we'll kind of see how this kind of comes to play. So John Jay does have a little bit of a run here, so let's kind of watch to see what goes on. They start with a screen out this way. John Blume with just a great open field tackle. Can't really ask for much more there. But then they're going to get a little something here. I believe it's on this play, so let's take a look. Wasn't quite that one, but it is coming. Jumped off sides again. I think this is it. Really great hustle by Cacciola, obviously, but just happened to, I think, run by you, John, here.
Yeah, I got beat there. I think I kind of stepped up. Didn't really step up, but I know every play I was just looking to hit, and that one he kind of got a step on me and he ended up getting by me.
Yeah,
that's the most honest answer I've ever heard.
I love it. Team no excuses. That's what I'm talking about. That was also a great thing about you guys. You guys really never make excuses. You just owned whatever the mistake was, and that was one of those there. And it was a physical mistake. That's all it was. So John Jay with the huge, if they're ever going to get back in the game, that's kind of how they do it sort of thing. So they get the big stop there, but I think they end up missing the extra point, which I probably wrote incorrectly. Nope, I have it correct. All right, 43-20, getting the ball back. Roach returns it, but he was in the end zone, so it's just going to stop there for a touchback. And this is the first drive where we get off to a good start, but things start to turn a little bit here. Not before a really athletic run by Johnny Arch. That was the one, right, John?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, big boy got you there. That was you, though. You're up before the guy even got up, so we knew you were good. little chippiness with Schultz out there. Now, as a receiver, it must be like kind of not annoying or frustrating, but you know this is a game we're going to have to run the ball a bunch to win now. So you guys got to kind of take a little bit of a step back. Run up the middle this time.
I mean, I think Jacob would say the same thing. I mean, I think we've enjoyed blocking, doing it in practice with the pads.
You guys are football players.
Jacob was probably one of the feistiest football players I've ever played with, even in college.
Yeah.
So I just obviously in the next game too, he destroys Luke Tim with his blocking end moves. But I think like just blocking in general, I think we both enjoyed it. I knew we were both up at this point by a significant amount. We were just going to run the ball. So I think it was kind of just, you knew it was going to happen. We kind of just put it down their throats.
And speaking of which, we get Pete DeLillis with a good block, Schultz, Guido, everyone out there, and gets Johnny with a big first down run on a 3rd and 7. Big first down in a time you definitely don't want to give it right back to him on a 3 and out. Just trusting our offensive line, trusting our backs. Guido this time, good feisty run, get lost behind there. Not to go on a compliment fest, but even your vision, Guido, was always underrated. It was just kind of found the hole you were supposed to go through, especially on these ISO react plays where you had a bunch of the gaps to run through. You always seemed to find the hole that was correct. I get a little push down that way. Little late hit on Ryan Blume. And get a 3rd down coming. So let's take a look at this one. We have to burn a timeout. All right, so we let up a sack there. Can't remember what the play was, but this was a situation where now as a coach, I don't know how you felt, Coach Stan, I started to feel a little bit on edge because they just scored. They just stopped us for the first time. We realized that this may become a little bit of a game. And do you remember this, Coach Santa, or?
I mean, it all blends together at this point, but yeah, I mean, obviously it's something you don't exactly want, but, we got trust in I think, we're up 23 at that point. I don't think our defense is letting up 23 points, in a half.
Right.
So
this is a really cool play. They actually do a reverse on a punt, which I don't think I've ever really seen too much, not too often in high school. Do a reverse on a punt, and just Mark Cacciola. Do you remember anything about this play? Because I think you saved a touchdown, to be honest, just being in the right position.
I remember just on punt, I always was usually the last one down the field.
Yeah.
Just in case for something like this. And one time it actually paid off.
100%.
Yeah, it just I remember seeing the guy running behind him and being like, what is going on? And then he ended up getting the ball. So just tried to keep him in front of me.
Yeah, these are those plays that you don't ever see on a stat sheet and you don't really notice, but a play like this is huge. So guys that play, special teams, it's like if this goes for a touchdown, it's 43-27 and we're definitely being a little bit more nervous here. So the fact you get a stop there is really crucial. I'll come back to you in a few plays. You know it's coming soon. Handoff this time. Antonio's going to go off on 3 or 4 tackles, I think, this series, if I'm correct. There's 2 in a row there. Antonio, obviously you went on to have a great college career and had a great senior year with Brunswick. But, I felt like this part of your season when you're playing against Tappan Zee and John Jay in the playoffs, you were playing the best football I've ever seen you play. Did you, start to really get a sense of, how to be a very good football player at this point in time? Because your Tappan Zee game, this game, and then the Lord's game, you were really a force.
I mean, I just think I kind of I didn't really have a really great football IQ in high school, whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I think some stuff started to click really around this time because I just never grew up with football or knowing how to read a read option or any of that good stuff. So I think the this game really we practiced it a lot, and this game was pretty much set in stone, and it really got it going for me. So took a little bit of time, but I figured it out, and yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely say that your IQ was really, really good as the year went on. And you said something about practice, which just I remembered something. Do you guys remember how we practiced and prepared for John Jay because they ran the no huddle? Do you guys remember anything about that week of practice? Because I certainly do if you guys don't. It was a little bit different.
Yeah, we stayed on each side, at least defensive line just stayed on each side. We didn't go to a strong side or a weak side.
Okay, yeah.
That was the biggest thing I took from it.
Yeah.
I just remember the JV practice with us.
Right. And do you remember
practice with this? And because I remember my brother playing at receiver. Right. I was like,
So to prepare for John Jay, we had 2 offensive huddles, some with varsity guys and JV guys. I remember I was the scout quarterback running between both of them. So you guys got as many looks and reps as possible to practice for their no huddle because their speed was pretty quick. Mike Santoianni gets in a little bit here and has they start throwing some slants at him. He's in position there, and they're going to try again. Again, just Mike Santoianni found his way onto the field in a lot of different positions and did a really nice job. Here he is again. This time he's there for the pass breakup. Really good play. Running that inside counter. Arch on the tackle. Third down coming. Quarterback up the middle. Gorman does a nice job. Oh, my goodness, Gorman. Look like your career almost just ended. You remember this? Oh, my goodness.
not at all.
Obviously, you were okay, but Jesus.
He got right back up.
Yeah, I'm watching your leg there. That was scary as hell. You were an athletic big man, though, so I could see you just rolling off that, no problem. That gets outside. Now, Schultz, you don't have a ton of tackles this game because you were playing a lot of man-to-man, but this is a great one here. They get outside Antonio for the first time in a while. You push your guy off and make the tackle, open field. Really nicely done. I knew there was a face mask. Remember there being a face mask, Schultz?
But I wouldn't be surprised. I was not the best defensive player.
Right, don't sell yourself short. You're pretty good, especially your senior year. All right, here we go. They try a little fullback screen out this way. They get Guido blocked. Now, this is a big play by John Jay, but a really underratedly big play by Jacob Risi because I think you guys know what's coming next. Jacob does his job, contains his outside, gets a big tackle here, and sets us up for probably the biggest play in the game at this point. So we definitely want to take our time and watch this one, and then we'll go to the star who made the play in a second. Talk to me, Mark. That was some play, man, and just seemed like it came out of nowhere. Do you remember I'm sure you remember this, so tell me about it.
So yeah, on this play, I kind of because we were so close to the end zone, if you can kind of see my guy like in the right corner, like by the pylon, he's kind of just like standing over there. So right. I was reading the quarterback's eyes like the whole way, and he was just staring that guy like straight down. So I knew he was going to throw it to him. So I kind of just made a jump on the ball.
So that's the question I had for you is that is not your guy.
No, that's not my man at all.
Your man is –
he's in the corner by the pylon.
Right. Yeah, I just backed out of full screen, but –
you can kind of see him there.
I'm like, this probably isn't Mark's guy, but I wanted to ask him. So it's awesome that you said that you just kind of play with some instincts there.
Yeah, the quarterback was literally staring him down. Like, and you, as long as you were looking at the quarterback's eyes, you would have seen him. He was throwing there.
Okay. Really heads up play and just a huge play, obviously. Other guys, what did you think when Mark made this play? You feel like, okay, breathe a sigh, a little relief a little bit? I love your guys' reaction, as a team.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, we were fired up.
I said before that, like, we weren't worried about them going into half.
Right.
After they came out and scored and then stopped us and they had this drive, when I turned around after he threw the ball and I just saw Mark literally diving through the air, it was sick. It was a sick play, and it really, like, took the air out of him, to be honest.
Yeah.
It looked like you got shot out of a cannon when you, like, dove.
Seriously, between the angle and everything, it's like he really came out of nowhere, but it was just such a great play. And I felt like we needed this. I know my heart was coming out of my chest a little. I felt like, oh no, we're going to blow this lead sort of thing. I just, being a very, pessimistic coach, I guess, but that was something else. What a play. From a junior to, for you to step up and make a play like that in a big playoff game, that was obviously huge. And we answer right back here, so let's take a look.
Throw the flag.
Johnny, just take me through this play. Obviously, you want to shimmy one of your shimmies here, but this poor quarterback, after throwing the pick, has to go tackle you in the open field, and I don't think he wanted to.
Yeah, he kind of just fell down there.
This is
a move.
This is a momentum play we needed, and just great blocks. Really, you do a great job in the open field, John, but Blume kind of goes out there. You see him on the guy there on that drive-by. Offensive line holds up really well, gets you into the open field, and I don't care how good this safety is. He's probably not getting you here. Jacob with a huge block. Coach Santa talked about how this team just does a great job blocking down the field, and you see it there. And that was huge. For us to have the pick and now a big play and now a late hit, it's like, okay, I think we're okay. I think we're going to win this sort of thing.
We were so deflated from that pick that I think we could have ran the ball up the middle and
yeah, absolutely. Penalty, I guess, on us. Guido hard 5 yards there, gets it back. Most times this happens, this is going to be a big loss for us, but Johnny was able to, sorry, my thing's all messed up, catch a bad snap from Gorman, which he didn't have ever many. Happens. Was able to make a guy miss and still get 5 yards. I don't think that's going to happen with too many other players.
That was terrible by me.
It happens, Gorman. You guys played a great game. Some bad snaps do happen. And I think we get the nail in the coffin coming here, so let's take a look. Okay. So now we score, make it 49-20. Now something weird kind of happens here. We have a bad snap, and this kind of leads us to get a 2-point conversion, which I know Coach Santa probably didn't care too much, and I didn't care too much, but I know Coach Fred was not thrilled about this. So let's take a look. Jacob, do you remember if it was a bad snap or just like you kind of bobbled it or just what happened? I don't think we had a red call, did we?
Looks like Jacob just popped up. Good boy, Jacob.
Coach Santa always loved pouring it on.
Yes, I did.
So you guys think this game is over because we don't do any more scoring. But let me tell you, there's a lot of drama that's still going to go on in the headset that Coach Santa and I will tell you about. So let's see what kind of goes on, because there's some still really, really interesting stuff throughout the rest of this game. That's a little behind the scenes stuff you guys maybe weren't so aware of. All right, so now we just got to try and not let up the big play. If they score, just make them go down the field sort of thing. Antonio with the tackle there, along with Caps, does a great job forcing it in. I'm going to the fourth quarter.
And you kind of mentioned it before, how about our practice before this game. I think that was the biggest thing about our team that year. Every practice we kind of played like a game. I remember we used to go at it at practice, and that was one of my favorite parts about that season. Every practice we were hitting, every practice we were going at each other, and that was made the season a lot more fun. I think it showed on the field too.
No, you're 100% right.
I agree.
And let me say something about you, Blume, because you were a big part of that. If people weren't going full speed, they were going to feel the wrath of Dr. Blume. This is going all the way back to JV. Like, I remember you, if a guy was not going full speed, you were not afraid to lay into them. And if you were on the practice field, people knew to be going full speed because they would probably get lit up by you. So I think you have a lot to do with that.
Hitting John and Ryan were like just hitting brick walls. Like, I was a bigger guy, and like, oh my God, having to do like linebacker drills with JC and Ryan were the worst part of practice. It was just like, you're gonna hit a steel wall, and it's not gonna be fun.
Yeah, John would choose me to do the tackling drills with, and it sucked. I wanted to get someone bigger because it's harder to take him down, and he'd always hit me.
I still remember me and Gorman in the tackling drill. Coach Santa, it was during double sessions of the summer, and I don't think Coach Santa knew yet. And he was telling me to get out, and I told Santa that I was fine.
Yeah, I wish you got out.
I was trying to help you, Gorman. Didn't work.
He's protecting his lineman. Antonio there with another big play coming up the field, getting his guy off and making a tackle. Doing our job there. Good pressure. And incomplete pass here on third down. All right, I gotta eat this. You guys can let me have it. This is pretty funny.
Oh, this is one of my favorites. Oh, Panio. You walked right away. Like it didn't even happen.
Let me tell you something. I got booed by the crowd.
I know you did. It was hysterical.
I think Mr. Schultz and Mr. Arcidiacono were actually the loudest booers. I actually could see them booing from where I was. So I did kind of get a little cocky and say, oh, I got it. And I do drop the ball, which was kind of –
I think it was because Johnny was taking those punts.
Was so loud, and it was kind of like silent. So everyone was on, like, eyes on you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that was I forgot about this. That was hysterical. Look at you run away. You run away. Look at you.
You've done the same thing. Just walk away. Never happened.
What can I do? The sun was in my eyes, guys. It was brutal out there. Windy, impossible to catch.
Cloudy day.
Let me tell you, I always say this. If we could be joking and laughing and the coach would be getting booed for dropping a punt up 30 points in a playoff game, we're having a good day. So now, after this drop punt that I have, Coach Santa goes into rage mode. And I don't know why, but I want to just play the next 4 to 5 plays with sound so you could hear what was going on in the headset. You would think we were losing this game by 31. This is just great. And I want to talk to Coach Santa and want to hear your guys' opinion after these next few plays.
I don't remember going that crazy.
You'll see. It's coming, don't worry. So Mark,
nice run, Mark.
Yeah, big run there. I will say before we go into the Coach Santa stuff, Mark, just being a junior, you got so many reps at quarterback. I wouldn't say in garbage time, but just at the end of the game a little bit. How did that help you for your senior season?
It helped a lot. I mean, even just like getting the experience in the huddle,
Right.
being able to lead the guys that like the line, that they were so good, being able to just get in there, listen to what they have to say. They were coaching me most of the time. So
Right.
to be able to get in there and get that experience was great.
Yeah, have a really nice run there. But now it's going to get a little interesting. Let's listen.
Blume's got to kick that guy. Blume, that's his kick.
Blume, I'm yelling at you. I'm sorry.
Blume's got 8. Blume's got 8. What is he doing? It's a down block!
Oh, yeah, I yell at you from the booth. I remember this now.
Let's keep it going.
Oh, it keeps going?
Did you catch what you just said there?
What'd I say?
You said, what the fuck, Panio? We just took a delay game. Okay. So, this drive, Coach Santa, for you guys that don't know, wanted 60 in this game. I don't know why. So this drive, we started making a couple mistakes. Blume misses a block. Remember I called it, I had Luke Elson bring in a play, and you didn't want me to bring in Luke Elson to bring in the play?
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's why I was yelling at you.
You were screaming at me. And in the headset, Coach Santa basically, says, what the F, Panio? And I just basically said to him, like, we're up 51-20. What's the problem? And Coach Santa ends up taking his headset off. And I go to Coach Fred. I go, I'm going to knock out Coach Santa. And Fred's just like, stop. You guys, just stop. We're up 30 points. What's the big deal? But what were you so mad about at this point in time?
I could tell you what I was mad about. I was mad about, you know me, I don't care who's in. We have to score on every single drive. And you're right, I wanted like 75, 80 points this game. Because it's just, for a long time, we hear about, oh, Eastchester's pretty good. Eastchester's pretty good. They're okay. They're okay. I wanted to send a message to everybody. And that's, basically what I wanted to do every single game, But I also get mad about stupid things. And, I think I was actually mad after this game for like the whole day, the whole time after. Like we went out to eat, we watched the film, and I got more mad,
Tough to please, Coach.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's we're up 30, we're down 30, like we got to score. Doesn't matter.
Absolutely. I remember after the game, you remember walking to me, and I go, "What's the problem?" You just go, "We should have scored 60."
Yep.
And that
should have scored 60.
And that was, I'll never forget that line because we just won a playoff game, but you still wanted them to put it on at this point. But Mike Cicerini gets a 4th down run there, just a little bit short. John Jay gets it back. And, now we get the guys that haven't played so much, throughout the year. And you'd be surprised there's so many kids that end up making plays throughout this drive. So we definitely want to shout them out a little bit, as this goes on here. Joe Rivnak helping out on the tackle there. Joe Rivnak was a junior, ended up having a pretty good senior season. Matt Roach, Liam Schuler, always a good kid, played a little bit of defense and receiver his senior year. Is that you, John Blume? John Blume's still in.
I think the one thing that was very good about our team that year was we had some pretty good games in terms of us putting up points, and a lot of the starters were out by the end of the 4th quarter, but I felt like all the time there was an engagement with everyone on the sidelines rooting for each other. I feel like whether it was Nick Janovan or Schuler or Luke or Joe Ribs, by the time the fourth quarter rolled around with the starters out, I felt like we were probably more hyped or happy when they made a play.
Yeah, I actually could see you here on the sideline, Sean. You're right here, just like kind of coaching guys up, rooting them on. So I definitely agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, I think like starter, backup, doesn't matter. You know, I remember, Mark, one time this year, you ran like a QB counter and you like dove at like the 4-yard line and didn't score. I was so pissed at you.
Coach
like,
Fred was happy though.
You know, Coach Fred was so happy. You know, yeah. Coach Fred loves that stuff. Me, on the other hand, he had to tell me in a JV game not to score anymore because we were beating a team so bad. But, you know, I just wanted to, you know, anyone who puts in the work, you know, we play it like it's 0-0. That's the way I am. So that's why I got mad in the 50-point game.
Who just made that tackle? I forget. I can't see the number. Is it 68?
Is that Pablo?
Is that Pablo? I think it is Pablo.
It is Pablo. Oh, man, I miss Pablo. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, guys like we're always, you know, engaged and in. Pizza Lillis with good pressure there. KJ with good pressure. You guys, like, everyone seemed to contribute on this team, you know, even later on in the game. It's Vettorino, I think, with the tackle there. Or Ben Gurion. Oh, my God, Ben Gurion's playing linebacker? That is Ben Gurion. Ben Gurion had that tackle.
A good tackle.
And John Jay's just kind of running it out here. There's less than 2 minutes left. Take a run there. Brendan Schaefer with a big tackle. I mean, there's a lot of different guys contributing here. All right, back on offense this time. Pizza Lillis handoff. Who was number 4? Was that Rob Garino? Who is that, number 40?
I think it's Garino.
That's Rob.
40 was Garino.
Okay. Got Juan Sardian, Joe Pizzola. Hand off to Pete again. Time Luke Petrillo. All these guys. I miss all these guys. It's a good group. How about the snap? Just trying to run out the clock here and solidifying a playoff game victory. And Chris, look who's back there. All right, let's
Gorman punt.
Let's have a real talk. Who's the better punter?
100% me.
I never had one blocked, so I'm gonna go with me.
Gorman had a little power in that leg.
Look at that distance.
He had the power in the leg to the extent junior year, but senior year, I will put my money on myself any day of the week.
We could do it right now, and I'll beat you.
Possibly, yeah. Probably now you would.
I'd put money on it.
Gorman's got the net in the backyard in Wyoming. He's been practicing for this.
I would lose that now. Totally lose that now.
My boy Joe Pizzola with the big tackle there. Oh, that might have been Nicky Genova. Sorry. Nicky Genova. Nick went on to have a good senior year. Luke Elson as well. And they end up scoring here on like the last play of the half to kind of wrap it up. And what's going to come next is just the box score. So I want to talk to the box score and then just want to have a conversation with you guys before we start wrapping up here. Let's just kind of see the final kicks. You know, at this point, to be in a playoff game where the starters are out in the fourth quarter, getting ready for the next game is just so huge. We know next week we obviously play Lords, and you know the juju was not on the correct side after Johnny got hurt with the phantom, you know, the freak ankle injury. I think that game goes a lot differently, to be honest, but that's neither here nor there. So let's take a look at the box score coming. So heavy scoring in the first. As you can tell, John Arcidiacono, 3 for 4, 138 yards, 3 touchdowns, which is pretty insane. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. 3 completions for 3 touchdowns. Johnny Archer also ran 22 carries, 279 yards for a touchdown, and only did this in 3 quarters, which is kind of cool. John Guido consistently 12 carries, 131 yards, added 3 touchdowns of himself. Mike Santoianni, 10 for 41. Mark Cacciola, 2 carries, 20 yards. And Jacob Risi had 2 carries for 4 yards, but 2 2-point conversions that we saw earlier. Only one who had any catches was Schultz, 3 catches, 138 yards, and 3 TDs. And then if you guys see defense leaders, our juniors led the way. Antonio and Roach both had 9 and 8 tackles. Arch had 6. John Blume had 5. Mark Cacciola had 3 tackles and interception. Schultz and Jacob Risi both had 2 pass deflections. So we ended up winning this game in a pretty big way, but I think you saw how explosive we were offensively and defensively. So I want to open it up to you guys now. Any final thoughts or any final things that you guys wanted to just say about this game or just about the season in general? Because I truly do mean this. You guys were a very special group. I know to myself, I don't want to speak for Coach Santa, but I know he thinks very, very highly of you guys. So anything you guys want to say before we wrap up here?
It was really interesting, honestly. Like all my high school games, I definitely remember way more than any of my college football games. Just wanted to throw that out there, especially with these guys. Yeah, it was a good group, and sometimes I still see a text in our group chat every once in a while. We haven't gotten together yet, but it would be nice. It would be nice, and I like this.
I appreciate you coming, Antonio, and you had a great game and a great senior year and a great career. I was very happy for you, and you did a really great job. But I appreciate what you said about how you remember your high school games. That's the message we want to send to our younger players as well. That they'll probably be in the same situation too. So I appreciate you saying that.
Thank you.
What else, guys?
Just this season, I remember was just a lot of fun. Like it never felt never felt any pressure. We were just playing football. We were like I said at practice. We were just going at it at practice. We never looked down the line. We just took it game by game. We were just kind of having fun with it. And I think that's what made the team so special and really created that family atmosphere.
You guys had it for sure.
Also remember the back and forth we'd have during practice would be harder than the games. Like the second team wanted to beat us so much more, and when we go out in the game, the blocking would fall in line better,
right.
And it'd honestly be less chippy than it was during practice.
You guys did practice very well. Scout defense, I remember scout defense and, always talking a little trash to us and vice versa. So I think it did pay dividends. Very good point, Gorman.
Overall, it was just, as John and Antonio said, it was fun. And honestly, I do remember my high school games a lot more than my college games. And high school games honestly meant more. In college, you're thrown together with a bunch of guys that you've never met before. And I grew up with all these guys playing sports. John, all those guys, John Blume and Johnny were all playing Blue Devils and all grew up together. And the black team, all those guys, I wasn't on it, so I wouldn't know about that. But, I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. I feel like we had such a good group of guys, and it was never about me or myself or Johnny or John or anyone being some special. I would have given no touchdowns, nothing to have won a section championship, and I think Johnny would be the same, and all the guys. I think that was pretty obvious in the first game of the year when we played Harrison. I could have excuse my language, 2 shits if I had touched the football.
Right.
I played 2 years of varsity blocking and Santa throwing me some balls down the field with Colucci and Jacob. But it was just really a lot of fun. That's honestly what it was. I had known these guys my whole life. And that's really, I think, what it came down to, just having a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
Yeah. I think it was definitely a special group of guys. And I love that you're doing this, honestly, because it's so cool to watch, everyone else talk about it. Because for everyone else, their team, the teammates they had were a special group of guys. So nice to see, how everyone comes together and and just talks about the memories.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, John. And that's, that's kind of the point. You guys had a great group. You should share that with, the players that are coming up. And just for you guys to kind of, re-seed again, I think, it's easy to kind of look back and just be like, yeah, we had a good team, but you guys had a very special team. And I think you guys are aware of that, obviously, but to kind of relive some of those memories, to see how you guys performed in a big playoff game and, did so well, it's just great to see. So I appreciate you saying that, John.
Yeah, I also like that this was put together because I know I moved right after high school.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen like half these guys in like 5 years. Yeah. So it's nice to like get to see and like talk to them for a little bit.
You gotten a haircut, Gorman? Or is it all the way down to your back now?
It's all back here.
Oh, there you go.
I can put it out.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
When's the last time you got a haircut?
Like shaved it was junior year of high school.
Vietnam.
Like I've trimmed it since, but not like an actual haircut since then.
I love it, Gorman.
Impressive.
Yeah, especially Gorman being, out in Wyoming and still making it here. We really appreciate that. I know your time difference is a little bit different than ours, but the fact that you made it and came, it was really great to see you, seriously.
Yeah, same to all of you.
Who else? Anyone else?
I would just say the biggest thing I remember from this season was, like, from the first practice, everyone kind of just, like, bought in. It didn't matter how much you played. Throughout, even up to this point in the season, everyone was coming to practice, working as hard as it was, like, in double sessions. So I think that really made a difference all the way up to this point because, as we saw, even the guys who came in at the end, they're playing as hard as they can. So I felt that was really great.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Yeah, I agree. And, you had a great senior year, but, your junior year, you really started to show what you can do. And the fact that you made such a big play in this game was indicative of how hard you work. So appreciate you saying that, and I appreciate you jumping on, Mark, seriously. Anyone else?
I guess I'm the last one to go. All right. No, it was honestly that year was just cool. I played football with half these kids since I was 5, 6 years old. And even though, the end goal wasn't there, it was cool to kind of finish the way we did. Yeah. Overall, great experience. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, Guido, and it was a pleasure coaching you and your hard work, and just like you always did the right thing and always put your body on the line. And, we asked a lot of you, and you always seem to respond really well. Coach Santa, any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
Yeah, like Mark was saying, bought in was like a huge thing that you guys did. I don't know how much we're supposed to pull back the curtains on this one, but the year before, it was a very exciting time for Coach Panio and I because you guys obviously know Coach Boyer. He had left late, right, Tony?
Yeah, like in May, he to go be head coach of Valhalla, or June.
Yeah, so we had done all our off-season stuff, running the triple and all that other stuff. And when he left, we kind of, I had this vision of what, Tony and I had this vision of what we wanted to do offensively, but it was way too late to put it in for you guys. And, going into like the scrimmage in White Plains and all of New Rochelle camp, and you guys bought in and Coach Fred bought in, that was another whole conversation we used to have all spring talking about what to do because Coach Fred's looking at it like, just run the ball. Who cares? Stuff like that. Harrison, that was, I was literally up before the game. You guys didn't know, but I was like literally ready to throw up because I was so nervous because I was like,
putting in new
all right, this is either, yeah, I was like, this is either going to work or I'm going to look like the biggest idiot on the face of the earth. And, Johnny's going to have like 47 carries for 2 yards and, we're going to look like that. And turned out he had like 47 carries for like 200 yards and, everyone bought in. And, the reason why I think it bought in with you guys, like you guys talked about, just You guys were so selfless. You know, whoever had a big game, whoever had the, you know, carries, whoever had the touchdowns. You know, Guido had like 38 touchdowns off like, you know, everyone getting to the 1 yard line. Then he'd sneak in and just go get one. You know, but I owed him after the year before, right? Didn't I screw you with Gary? Was that the year before?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So I owed you some, so I got you. I had you in my high school fantasy team too, so that's why I kept running power on the 1 yard line. But it was a really fun season. I mean, I always talk about it. You know, it was very fun. You know, I got the most calls I've ever gotten from other, you know, coaches and people I know. You know, actually pretty good friends with the John Jay defensive coordinator, so we didn't talk for a while after that. So, but I'm just joking. He talked to me the next day. You know, it was a fun. It was almost sad when it came to an end. You know, the way it came to an end, it was sad because, you know, I had told Coach Fred, I was like, I don't even know if we played in Syracuse, but I was like, I'm booking, you know, to Mayapack in Syracuse. Like, you know, I think how highly I thought of you guys. I thought you guys were the best team in the section. To this day, that year, you guys were the best team in the section, you know, and, you know, it was very apparent, you know, things didn't bounce our way for whatever reasons it was, but you guys should be really proud. And that's a fun senior year, and I could talk to Coach Panio because both of our senior years we were undefeated.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a different thing when you guys are undefeated, and it's a different, you know, togetherness and, you know, the way you feel. You know, we used to just joke every week, like, you know, we'd be like, oh, 6-0, 7-0. We're pretty good, you know, like stuff like that when I played. And I used to do the same thing to LaRocca and Panio. I'd be like, I think we're actually pretty good, you know, every week. And, you know, it was such an, you know, I go back and I used to tell Panio, like literally the 2 years down the line, I was like kicking myself. I was like, if I knew what I knew now, freaking 2015, I was like, we would have put up 80 a game. And, you know, you guys accomplished a lot that year, man. I think we were like 98% in the red zone or something like that, Tony. Yeah, like for the whole year.
Scored. Every time we got
every time we got down there, like that's stuff that, you know,
winning teams do.
Winning teams do. You guys were good. You guys were really good. Better than 07. Oh shit! Did I say that out loud? Oh boy.
Well, that's
no.
You guys could debate that for sure.
Yes, I think it's a very, very good debate. And you guys are really good. You guys worked your asses off, and all deserved for you guys, you know. Like, I could talk to Coach Panio. It's calling plays is one thing, but you guys did them, you know. That's the other thing. You know, we can only take you guys so far, and you guys did everything. And, you know, zero credit on my part. You guys made the offense. That was all you guys. You guys, like, you know, we watch on film. It's every play's hard. Even 2 yards, even 1 yard, every play's hard. And, you know, it didn't matter who was there. You know, the freaking Mark comes in on a play. I remember during the season, 1 catch, 1 touchdown. Like, that's how good we were. We had those guys on the bench. You know, like Mark came in, caught a screen. I remember like it was yesterday.
And Hud, yeah.
Far side of the field, took the screen to the house, you know.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's just, you know, how good of a team you guys were. It was very fun to watch every single week. Every week was fun, you know. Go up against – can we watch Pearl River? Because I talk a lot of crap in that game.
Yeah, so –
because I hated those guys. I hated them.
We definitely –
they talked so much trash.
Those were fun.
We definitely have Pearl River lined up for another Eastchester Vault for 2015, so we'll definitely keep an eye out for that one. And maybe we should introduce Coach Santa the audio, some audio clips of us in the
you guys don't know this. So in the booth, it was so funny what we used to say to each other. Halfway through the year, I wore an earpiece and a mic, and Pooch was recording me doing the entire game.
It's pretty funny.
And we would listen to the playback after the game, and it was hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. There's definitely a PG-13 version of that, and then a rated R version of that one. So
when we do that Pearl River game, I have a good idea set up. We won't probably do another 2015 game for another couple of weeks or months, but I will definitely set that up because that's too good to not have. That's really a lot of fun. So we'll get that set up for sure. But yeah, I don't think this is the last time I'll speak to you guys. Hopefully we can do another one of these in a few months, and we'll just kind of keep it going. I will say I want to kind of end on this kind of thought. I think there was one game in the last 12 or 13 years where I know all the coaches were crying after we lost, and that was when, we lost the following week to Lourdes. And it was obviously sad because we had lost, but I remember having my best friend's wedding on that day we played Lourdes, and I missed the wedding to go coach you guys because I loved you guys. I wasn't missing that game. And I remember after the game myself, I think you guys remember Coach Fred crying, myself, Santa, all of us were crying after the game. Not just because we lost, but we knew we were losing a really great bunch of kids. And, still to this day, like Coach Santa says, we really wish we, had a little bit better situation, Johnny not getting hurt and beating Lourdes, because I do think we're winning a section championship that year. But regardless, I think the tears were more because we're going to miss you guys. And it's really great to have you all back on. And, we know a lot of us still kind of keep in touch, but you guys hopefully continue this, and hopefully we can get together for another one of these in the future if it sounds good with you guys.
Yeah, Tone, I just want to say one thing too. I don't think I would have gone to college to play football if it wasn't for you guys. That year, Johnny, I'd thank Johnny probably over and over again.
Yeah.
Like you and Santa, I probably wouldn't have played college football. Probably wouldn't have stayed 4 years. Johnny throwing the ball, Gorman onto blocking. Haven't got to talk to Chris in a while, so I think it's more or less I got to play college football because of you guys. I think it was a big part of that. I think Johnny in my signing speech, I know that's for sure, but it was the other guys, Blume, Anto, Gorman, John. I know that I definitely got there because of them, so I just want to thank you guys. So.
We thank you, Schultz. And I think you would have been fine without us, but I know what you're saying. It was a team effort, and we were so proud of you when you did what you did, and Antonio too, Guido and Arch going to play college lacrosse. I mean, you guys are just great. All you guys, you're a really special group. But with that being said, I think it is time to wrap it up. I am going to stop the recording. So if there's nothing else, you guys kind of hang on Zoom if you wanted to, but if not, you guys can start to log off, and we'll see everyone for Eastchester Vault Week 5. We'll let you know what the game is. We're going to let everyone know on Monday. Should be an interesting one. All right, thanks, guys, for coming. I appreciate it.